Hey everybody, it's me Jill and welcome to Jill Informed. This is the recap of Vanderpump Rules Season 7, Episode 3, Either Him or Me. Oh, lucky us, we get to start off right where we left off with James joining the Pride Parade and yelling, I'm a star, baby. Yeah. And then we're reminded about what he said to Katie about needing to lose weight. Then we cut to Raquel and Sheena, who are debating whether or not Hope is a reliable news source. You know, it doesn't really matter how reliable Hope is. What she's saying is believable because of what we know of James. Let me just put it this way. If Hope was claiming that she had sex with Ken while Lisa was sleeping in the other room, I would have a much different reaction. I would be shocked. I would say Hope is probably a liar. So whether Hope is credible or not almost doesn't matter. It's the fact that what she's saying seems very credible. So as far as Raquel and Sheena is concerned, you're missing the bigger picture. Whether or not Hope is embellishing this story, and again, why, girl? Why are you telling the story at all? You both know you aren't shocked to hear this. Then Sheena says she feels like she's a big sister to Raquel and she wants to take care of her and advise her. Oh yes, what could go wrong there? Sheena has always made such good choices when it comes to men. Let's see, Shay, Rob, Eddie Cibrian. Okay, so now Raquel goes and seeks out Hope to have a private talk with her. Raquel says to the confession cam, I have to decide if I believe James, then I have to stand by my man. And if I believe Hope, I have to break up with James. So Raquel starts off by saying, so tell me what really went down at Coachella. Hope is saying, okay, what happened at Coachella is basically insignificant because the bigger picture is that my hooking up with him had become more of a regular thing and we were starting to argue about it. Raquel, are you saying it happened multiple times? Yes, sweetie. She's telling you it happened multiple times. So Hope said that James would always tell her that things with him and Raquel were not serious. So then Hope says, this past November, we got in a huge fight because James was afraid that you would find out that we hooked up. Raquel, wait. You've been sleeping with James since Coachella 2 years ago? Okay, wait, this Coachella thing was 2 years ago? So Hope's reply is, oh no, I've been sleeping with him for over 3 years. It's not funny, but it's kind of funny. Because then Hope says, you know, it's just that you're a beautiful person and I think you have a really beautiful heart and I just want you to know that James is a horrible person. I love how these girls do these horrible things under the guise of it being some sort of public service that they're providing. So later Raquel talks to James, who very loudly and aggressively denies that he ever slept with Hope, ever. To the confession cam, Raquel says, I'm so sick of all these girls walking in with all these accusations that they slept with my boyfriend. Bottom line, I want to stay with James. No kidding. I did not see that coming. I was not tipped off by the fact that you ignore everything every girl has ever said about him. And you believe him. Side note, James, hang on to this girl because she's beautiful and she is dumb enough to believe you and to want to believe you every single time. Also, side note, I do realize that Raquel is not as dumb as I keep saying she is, because the fact of the matter is she's smart enough to know that if she breaks up with James, she goes back into obscurity. If she stays with James, she gets a storyline, she gets a paycheck, she gets fame, she stays on Vanderpump Rules. So like, I get it. We have a quick shot at Tom and Katie's apartment. Tom is hungover. He realizes that half shots don't make any sense if you do twice as many. And Katie tells him what James said about her being fat. Then we cut over to James and Raquel's apartment, and they're putting together like an end table or something. I don't know. James again reiterates that he hasn't had sex with Hope for 2.5 years since before he's been with Raquel. And Raquel says, if you did cheat on me, I would want you to tell me. And he's like, I know. Okay. Yeah, you gotta hang on to her, man. She did not say, don't ever cheat on me again. She just said, if you do, give me a heads up. Okay, so now in the middle of this, Peter calls James on the phone. And James like, oh, hey, birthday boy, how you doing? And Peter's like, oh, good, I'm at work. Hey, real quick, my birthday party tonight, I'm gonna have to disinvite you. And he said, yeah, your behavior at Pride was like not cool, and so you understand. And basically James does understand. And Raquel says, actions have consequences. Just remember that next time you think about drinking. Okay, next, crossover alert. Teddy Mellencamp walks into Sir, or is it Pump? I don't know. Could be Villa Blanca, one of those places. And basically she's there to talk to Lisa about giving her brother a job. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. I don't know if that's going to be a storyline here or on Beverly Hills. Probably more on Beverly Hills, I would think. Anyway, Lisa agrees she'll interview him to be a barback or a busboy. It's so stupid. Anyways, whatever lowly job she has for Teddy Mellencamp's brother, she'll find a place for him, I guess. But it does also remind her of her brother, who we know just recently committed suicide, and so that's a little bit sad. Now we are at Peter and Carter's mutual birthday party, and Sheena walks in with Adam, the guy she tried to fix Brittany up with last year. Really, she was just trying to piss off Jax, but that guy, yeah, he's with Sheena now. It is so incestuous, this group. Everybody has to be with each other and trade partners back and forth. And it's so obviously like an attempt for airtime. Like, Adam, come on, dude. What are you doing with Sheena now? Whatever. Anyway, so everybody's showing up. Sandoval's dad is in town, and I don't think I've ever seen him before. He may have made an appearance, but again, I've only been watching the show for a couple years, so he was there. His name is Tony, and he seems like he's kind of fun. Peter shows up. What is the deal with Peter? Does anybody know? I feel like he's been on since season 1, but he's not really part of the group. And I doubt it's just because he's the manager. It seems weird that he's always just sort of a side character. Even during the reunions, he's not sitting down, he's not part of the reunions until it's time to like bring out the shot glasses at the end, and then that might be Peter. And that's it. It just feels weird to me. If you guys know the scoop on what the deal is with Peter, leave it in the comments down below. Thank you. Okay, so Brittany and Stassi are sitting and talking, and Sheena walks up and stands between them, and Stassi does not look happy to see her. Anyway, Brittany asks Sheena what her take is on the James and Hope thing. Like, did it happen? And Sheena goes, I don't believe everything Hope says. And Stassi goes, so you don't think they hooked up? Sheena, oh, I totally think they hooked up, for sure. Stassi goes, so you believe Hope? Sheena, I don't believe everything Hope says. I really don't. Stassi, so you don't believe Hope? Stassi's confession cam is hilarious. She's like, okay, so Sheena thinks Hope is a liar. Oh, Sheena's on Hope's side. But no, she's not on Hope's side. Then Stassi's like, this is the thing about you, Sheena. You can't take both sides. You either believe her or you don't believe her. Sheena says, you know me. Like, I always want to make everything all right. And Stassi goes, exactly. And Sheena goes, and I'm not doing that anymore. Stassi to the confession cam. Did Sheena just flip-flop on flip-flopping? Peter brings Jax over to tell him that Lisa would like to put him on the schedule. And Jax is thrilled, and is anybody surprised? We also see Stassi and Ariana, who their birthdays are either like the same day or a day apart, and they have always had kind of dueling birthday parties. Well, they're buds this year, and they are going to have a joint birthday party. The best that anyone has ever seen. Sheena says to the confession cam that she is a little bit worried about how close Ariana is getting to the girls because Ariana was always her BFF and she feels like she might be being pushed to the side a little bit, which she might be because in the next scene, Katie is planning a girls' night out for everyone basically except Sheena. And Ariana said, I feel like Sheena's going to be disappointed that she's not included. And Katie goes, well, we don't hang out with her. Ariana has changed a lot this season. Let me just say that. To the confession cam, she's basically saying, well, Sheena's a big girl. She'll get over it. I'm going out with these girls and. And I feel like that would not have been Ariana's take last year. Now, aside from the fact that I know she wasn't friends with them, I feel like she would have maybe more integrity or something. I don't know. Next, we find out that Jax and Brittany are starting a beer cheese company. Yes, called Mama's Beer Cheese. So they are going to a cheese shop to sample different cheeses for their recipe. So we'll see how that turns out. While they are there, they are having a very odd conversation. I think odd for those two. I would not have gone there if I were Brittany or Jax, but these people lack so much self-awareness that I guess I'm not surprised. Anyway, they are talking about James and Hope and Raquel and that whole situation, which was their situation just last year. Yet they're coming at it with a very sort of high and mighty attitude, I think. Brittany at one point says, not to compare us to that because, with us it was just that one time. I just think James is never going to admit it. At least you admitted it, Jax. So Brittany's feeling sorry for Raquel because she has been in her shoes, and the only thing that got Brittany through it was her girlfriends, and Raquel doesn't have any girlfriends. Then Jax makes the unbelievable comment of, literally nobody likes her boyfriend. Why would you want to be with somebody like that? You guys, look in a mirror once in a while. How do you not see that as you, Jax? Anyway, Brittany has decided that she is going to invite Raquel to the girls' night. So she calls her right then and there, and of course Raquel's up for it. Am I the only one that feels like Brittany should have maybe checked with the other girls first? I can't imagine Katie is going to want Raquel there. Next we are at Sir, and James is DJing at lunch. Maybe he's just setting up for that night. These Toms walk in with Sandoval's dad, and they're there for lunch. Schwartz tells them that Katie told him what James said about her weight. And he's like, I feel like I should say something. And Sandoval's reply is, I think he just felt attacked. Why is he defending James so much? I don't know. Anyway, side note, I had to play this back twice. Tom Schwartz said, James insinuated that my girlfriend was fat. Girlfriend. I literally think Schwartz forgot that he and Katie were married now. Anyway, he feels like he needs to confront James and say something, even though he hates confrontation. Sandoval's dad basically said, yeah, you need to talk to him. So Tom walks up to the DJ booth. Before he even gets anything out, James immediately apologizes. And Tom goes, you know what I'm going to say? And James is like, I'm a 26-year-old man. There's no excuse for what I said. It feels very, very much like what you just apologized to Jax for. So Tom says to him, Katie's not fat. She's sexy and luscious. And James goes, I know that, man. Okay, now this is where things take a weird turn because Tom says, say it. I want you to say it. He wants James to say that Katie is sexy and luscious. I mean, he's clearly just screwing with him, but also if I was Katie, I would be pissed that he wasn't taking it more seriously. Like, I kind of think that Schwartz thinks it's funny. Anyway, to the confession cam, James is like, I made fun of her weight slightly. Everyone is blowing it up into this humongous thing, you know, bigger than her. Yeah, you are so sorry, aren't you, James? Anyway, he says to Tom, Katie is beautiful. It's disgusting what I did. I'm sorry. I lost it at Pride. I did. And Tom goes, and you go for the jugular. And James is like, yeah, it's a problem and I need to solve it. Okay, next it is girls' night, and the theme is old Hollywood glam. I love that these girls just have a theme night for no reason. They look fan-freaking-tastic. Katie looks particularly beautiful. They all do. I think Stassi and Katie are the most beautiful to me. But no, really, honestly, all of them are gorgeous. And in the meantime, the boys are getting together at Katie and Tom's apartment. Tom is cooking dinner for them. Side note, Tom and Katie's apartment is so cluttered. It is like giving me hives. I want to sort through things, go through piles, organize, toss, donate, save, give it a good scrub, and put things back in an organized fashion. And also maybe find better organizational options for them. You can't even see their countertops in the kitchen. I mean, there's so much stuff. They need a system. This is not working for me. Okay, back to the girls. Brittany tells everybody that Raquel is on her way. I guess she did text everyone and told them because Kristen goes, oh, I thought you were kidding. She's really coming? And Katie's like, why would she want to? Good question. This is weird to me. Nobody ever gets mad at Brittany. Every big, bold, obnoxious personality on that show, nobody has ever come after Brittany. Like I said, I think she should have not told them that she invited her. I think she should have asked first. Anyway, Raquel arrives and sits down and immediately talks about James. Why, girl? Stassi, Katie, and Kristen get up and go to the restroom, which is really just, I'm going to the bar so that we can talk about Raquel. Katie asks them, I wonder how she feels about being with a guy who is degrading and derogatory towards women. Well, first you would have to teach her those words, but my guess is fine. That's probably the last thing she cares about. Meanwhile, Brittany is telling Raquel, I invited you here because I'm concerned about you and I feel like I was in your position too and I just needed my girlfriends. I don't want you to feel like we're going to gang up on you. Brittany does ask Raquel, did you know that James called Katie fat? And she's like, no. So the others come back and Katie said, did we miss anything? And Raquel says to Katie, Brittany just told me about another rude comment that James just made to you. And Katie's like, it isn't just another rude comment. It's that he goes so low and he tries to get you where it will hurt the most. Raquel, do you think he did it when he was drunk? And Katie goes, I don't care. Kristen interjects and says, he has a drinking problem, we all know this, but he also has a temper when he's sober. And Brittany, I just hope he's not like doing that to you all the time. Raquel, no, he doesn't do that to me at all. Unless he's been drinking way, way too much. Stassi says to her, you know, I don't know you very well, but I feel like if I took all these stories from all these different women and put them in my basket, it's not good at all. Raquel, I feel like you guys don't know the James that I know. He treats me like a queen. Yeah, except for when he drinks, which is kind of often. What kind of queen gets treated like you get treated by James? Katie just can't even listen to this anymore. And so she tells Raquel that she just feels like she doesn't even want to go into work anymore and she's going to actually talk to Lisa about it. Next, we are at SUR, and Katie comes in to talk to Lisa about it. So they sit down and Katie tells her what James said. And Lisa said, I know James is an idiot, but I let him do his thing that day, and see you next Tuesday is successful. Yeah, that's why you let him do his thing, because it's bringing business into your restaurant. Anyway, Katie says to her, well, what will you do? And Lisa said, well, I don't know yet. Katie, I'll tell you what I'm prepared to do. I've been here 9 years. And this is like a family to me, but no woman should have to work at a place where a man can get away with saying stuff like that to her. And Lisa's like, agrees. And then she said, this sounds like an ultimatum. And Katie said, well, I've only given one ultimatum in my whole life, and that was to Tom, and it worked. So maybe I am giving you an ultimatum. To be continued. That's where this ends. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think Katie lost points when she said, I've only given somebody an ultimatum once before and it worked, so maybe this is an ultimatum. I don't think she should have said that. And if I were Lisa, I don't think I would respond well to that. However, in this climate, I don't think as a restaurant owner you can get away with letting somebody stay. I almost feel like she has to let him go. But I think if I were Katie, I would have just said, you can take it as an ultimatum if you want, but I'm just telling you that as a valued employee of 9 years, I would hope that you would want me to be comfortable when I come to work and not feel like I could be verbally attacked. I would hope that's what you would want for any of the women that work for you. And then that kind of puts the ball in Lisa's court, like, seriously, what are you going to do about it? Because you could lose me. Like, that's what I would say in a normal situation where it was somebody who owns a restaurant and these are two people that work at your restaurant. That's not really the case here. We're talking about a TV show. These people aren't really servers and bartenders anymore. And James, is he really there every Tuesday? I mean, maybe? I don't know. I just feel like when this show isn't filming, you could probably go into SUR any night of the week and not see any cast members. So this is very different. This is like a cast member of a show saying I won't do the show anymore unless this cast member is fired. So that's totally different. And I don't know. I'd love to know what you guys think. Leave your comments down below. What do you think Lisa should do? How do you think this whole thing should have been handled? In fact, you know what? I'm gonna do a little poll question up here. Who do you think adds more value to Vanderpump Rules? Katie or James? Because that's probably the real question. All right. That's it for me this week. Oh, real quick. You are seeing this recap of episode 3 on Sunday afternoon before episode 4 airs on Bravo tonight, Sunday night. I don't know what Bravo's doing. I don't know if it has to do with the holidays or I don't know what's going on, because they are also screwing with New Jersey. Because next Sunday, I think they're showing Real Housewives of New Jersey. And we might be skipping a week for each of them for the holidays. If that's the case, then I will also be skipping a week. And my recap will only come out the day before the new episode airs. Okay, so look for that, and I think that's it. If you haven't yet subscribed to Jill Informed, please consider doing so. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and don't forget to leave your comments down below. What do you think Lisa should do? Should she fire James, or should she let Katie walk away? I'm excited to hear what you think. Thank you so much. I will see you in the next recap of Vanderpump Rules. Bye.